What up? What up? It's the Open Your Mind podcast. Sounds so official when we're recording. Feels like a whole nother energy. What's going on? I got Mike, my co-host in the spot. Say what's
Yo,
up.
what's up,
And
everybody?
I
How
got
we doing
Joel.
out there?
Joel, what up, dude?
Good, how
Excellent, excellent. So we got a lot to talk about today, dudes. Number one, I want to get down to the homosexuality of today's time. What times we're living in, right?
I think it's always existed. Actually, it's referenced in the
I know,
Bible.
but I'm saying in
so-
our time, in this
Oh,
point,
oh, oh,
in this
gotcha,
point of life,
gotcha.
it's
Okay.
it's another way of looking at it, because gays seem to still not be able to get the same privileges as everyone else. They still are looked down upon, like 50 years ago when African Americans had to use a different drinking fountain and stuff like that. So I wrote a little thing because I'm trying to write a book, but I want to open up the show like this. I come to the realization that gay culture is a revolution. It's changing dramatically. Gay people have not had a fair shake, in my opinion. They continue to fight for the most simplest rights, such as marriage. They are demanding the same equality as everyone else, but are still continuing to wait for a president to help them. They are frowned upon. This reminds me a lot of the African Americans when they were being mistreated and could not have the same civil liberties as white Americans. With much struggle and violence that was inflicted upon them by police, the African Americans were able to make their voices heard all the way to the White House. With the help of MLK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, black people created freedom for the people. With that said, African Americans were given civil liberties. Pushing forward. But for the love of money, some African Americans have become bad role models for their community. With racism playing a big role, I began to see certain black people use their talents such as music and television to convince the black population to promote violence and drug abuse. I believe racist white men with big power use the black people as puppets to promote black on black destruction. What do you guys think about that? No comments. I am seeing a familiar piece of history when I look at gay people. They are fighting for the right to pursue their happiness. Once again, some big douchebag in power has begun to spread filth with the help of gay people, who rather be rich in wealth but poor in humanity. Look at all races of every creed. We have a mixture of every kind of breed. I mean, Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, and Caucasians come big, small, large, and skinny. And they all have brains, but some are empty. Each race, so to say that all gays are a certain way or believe the same thing is completely ridiculous.
It's ignorant.
Bottom line is, we in America have the right to pursue our freedoms of life and our happiness because our Constitution allows us to do so. And all men are created equal. Gays have been looked down upon society because pure hatred from music, television, religion, and word of mouth. Why? Why do you think so, Joel? I just said so. TV and radio and the word of mouth. But I mean, for you growing up as that, when did you realize that you? Well, let's start off with the basic questions. Do gays have morality? Do you think so?
Yes, they do.
I mean, because the thing about the Quran and the Bible, they're constantly like saying if you're gay, you're going to hell.
Right.
So that kind of like scares people like that are gay to say, why should I believe in the Bible if the Bible's saying I'm going to hell, or the Quran? Why should I have morals, and why should I have respect for others when the book that's saying we should do this is saying I'm bad?
Right. Well, I mean, a lot of the people that I've known,
Get closer to the mic.
they're all gay. They're actually one of the nicest people there are. You know, we do have morals. We know what's right. We know what's wrong, and we know, to follow our heart. We're not going to listen to a book that someone made 2,000 years ago that dictates we're going to go to hell.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't believe I'm going to hell. We all, choose our own destiny.
Scary stuff, right? When you think about what's already, your future has already been told to you, that you, because you exist, because you live a certain way that doesn't hurt anyone, it's just your preference of life, you will burn in eternity for that. I mean, it's insane. Like, how does somebody live with that type of feeling?
Who's that pastor that constantly always like has the signs, when bashing like gay people? You know that? Didn't he recently die, or didn't he recently pass away?
Yeah,
Yes,
God hates fags.
yeah.
The Baptist Church.
Yeah.
That's,
That guy right there. I mean, that guy was just
Westboro.
full of hate. I mean, going to funerals,
Yeah.
It was just. I understand you have the freedom to do certain things, and people can disagree. And I don't know. What are your thoughts on that guy right there? Like, what do you think?
I mean, I don't know much about it.
Dude, I
but
had a video and everything. Fuck, man.
I just know he was hypocritical because I know he would go into funerals and
Yeah.
start stuff, but when he died, they requested a private funeral.
Of course,
It's like,
the
how
double
can
standard.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the money to do that, and that's the sad part about being rich and being poor is that the poor are victims of society. Or rich people, they can actually be protected by their mass amounts of money. But good answer there. Do people, males in particular, develop feminism because they are surrounded by females? Like, is it maybe upcoming, like growing up? When you were growing up, were you raised around females a lot, like
No.
Barbies and shit like that?
No. There was
No?
nothing like that. No.
Nothing?
I mean, I think it's just part of society because you know how they shows like how gay guys should act in movies.
Yeah.
People, I guess, take that as a role model in a way, and that's why they act the way they act. Because I always wondered that too. Because like I understand you can be gay, but why do you act so feminine? Like, is it?
Good
Are
point.
you like born with it? Do you just get accustomed to it, or is it just society? You know?
Yeah, it is society. It's kind of like these kids, you know, listening to gangster rappers and they want to dress like them. I remember when I was growing up, you know, it was about the baggy jeans and everybody imitated these rap stars. And so you're right, the media does play a huge portrayal in that. And I think stereotypes still till this day exist. I mean, you go to watch a movie, I mean, they have Hispanics and blacks, you know, usually there's a lot of these slave movies they keep doing. There's a lot of these, you know, there's always the underdog, and it's usually the white prominent man, you know, I don't know, that's just my point of view, my take on it. I'm not saying all people are equal, you know, that's what this country says,
Yeah.
but at the end of the day, it's all about money, you know, because like you say, he requested a private funeral, which is kind of funny, you know. What do you think these families wanted? You know, they wanted some privacy.
Yes, sir. So, Joel, a horrible question that I have to ask you. Do you believe in God?
I do.
Is it a gay God?
No.
Is it a South Park God?
Excuse me?
None ever even occurred to me to even think about that, you know?
What do you mean?
No, like I never thought of a
You
gay
never
guy.
thought beyond, like, who is the creator of this thing that we're sitting on that's floating around space? It's too much of our thinking, right? It's like, whoa, what the fuck? What are we talking about? So you believe in God? Do you think like there's a heaven and a hell? Like
No.
you don't think there's a heaven and a hell?
No.
Okay, what do you think happens maybe in the afterlife? What do you think?
Honestly, I believe there's no afterlife. When you die, you die. And that's
Right.
it.
And I think it's like when we go to sleep, right? You don't know what happens afterwards.
You just stay dreaming.
Yeah, you're just
You
gone.
become a dream.
That's a trip, right? It's amazing. Good answer. Will society ever choose a gay president? Do you think? Who would you like to see?
What would I like to see?
Yeah, Richard Simmons.
I mean, no. Honestly, I don't care if they're straight or gay. But honestly, I would like to see a woman president.
Very cool. Don't say Hillary. So
I actually wanted to vote for Hillary.
You're killing me. Get off my show. Look. There's so many good musicians out there that I mean, there's so much talent out there that gay people provide, like Elton John. You know, there's so many great people that have come to the occasion. Who do you look up to that's gay? Do you think?
As like a celebrity?
Anybody that you think that that's gay that you go, whoa, that dude stood up. You know? Come on.
I don't know. I'm not into like celebrities or anything like that.
I like that response, actually. I really like that because a lot of these kids these days, you know, you ask them who they look up to and they say celebrities or something. And me, I've always said my parents,
Yeah,
you know.
like-
And it's just, it's awesome, you know, because people got to understand that whether you're straight or gay, you know, you're still a human, you still have a heart. And like you say, every answer that you've been saying, I like it because you're pretty much saying, hey, you know what? We have morals. We know right from wrong.
Right.
And I know a lot of prominent people in the church. I mean, what about these priests molesting
Yes.
children? They're doing sodomy. I mean, isn't that a homosexual act? But yet there's a hypocrisy in the church. You know, like it's just it kind
Oh.
of gets brushed under the rug.
Your timing couldn't be any more perfect.
Of course, it's me, Lou.
Will child molesters use the gay defense when it comes to the laws of attraction?
Oh wow.
So
As
because you're gay, you know, and you demand your rights, and you go to a court and say, Your Honor, why can't I get the same rights as everyone else because I'm attracted to a male? Pedophiles who will look at you as go, hey, I can use that as an excuse because I like little kids. They go to the court and say, Your Honor, I want rights. Because I know people that go, well, once gay people get their rights, then child molesters are going to want the rights. I'm like, dude, it's completely different.
Yeah.
Children do not consent. I mean, they might because they don't know any better, but they're innocent little things that people take advantage of because they're pedophiles. So do you think that is a possibility of people doing in the near future.
No,
Saying
that will never happen.
right,
I
because you
mean,
got to be sick in the dome to say, yeah, we're gonna pass this law. Gay people should be equal to these child molesters, and
see, like the child molesters, they don't consider themselves gay. Like they're married, they have wives.
that's true.
Like they are
To catch a
technically
pedophile.
straight.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't know what I'm doing here. I just wanted to talk.
I've actually known people that, you know, they go through the motions, they've gotten married, they have children, you know, and they're gay. I mean, I've
Yeah.
known prominent people in all kinds of areas, and I mean, this goes from, it doesn't matter if they're black, Hispanic, white. It's just, you know, we're people. As far as earlier what Lou was saying about like, hey, you know, were you playing with this when you're little or grew up around women? Actually, my sister used to trick me into playing Barbie. She'd be like, yeah, we're going to play G.I. Joes, but first we got to play Barbie. So, you know what? I'm living proof that, yeah, I played Barbies with my sister when I was a young kid, get tricked into it. That's not going to have an effect on me, you know, because I don't know. I guess, like, are you born with it? Did you find out? Like, how did you start noticing that you were a little bit different from, like, the average stereotypical male?
Okay, well that's before I go into that.
Yeah.
The whole thing about the whole Barbies.
Yeah.
There was an article that I read was saying that why is a Barbie gay? You're playing with a girl because you like girls.
Of course.
But if you play with a guy toy, it's a naked toy pretty much. You know, what is it, Hercules? He's
Yes.
just wearing a spandex and he is like really muscular.
Yeah.
Isn't that considered gay when you're playing with it?
That's a
So-
really good point that you're bringing up. You're right. All these G.I. Joes are super buff.
Yeah, and it's like it's
Like, you
kind of
could undress
homoerotic. Yeah.
Oh man.
What
are
is
you-
this guy doing right here? He's naked. What is up with these parades they have though? Why
I'm
is
pretty sure that's San Francisco.
they get real crazy out there, right?
I've never been, but yes.
And I wanted to make a point about, you know, these radical gay dudes that go out like this. And like, there's a picture of this guy right now. He's butt naked walking down the
flamboyant.
street. And he's basically got a thing covering his wiener, but he's completely naked. It's like, whoa.
See, that's too much.
Right.
That's-
But here's the thing. People see this and they go, gay people are so sick. Why are they doing that? This is just a percentage of what some gay people do. Just like African Americans have some population that are fucking completely whacked out of their skull. But then you have the African Americans that are intelligent, like Martin Luther King, that studied, that learn, that change laws, that get shit done. This guy, he's making a statement like, look, I'm here, I'm queer, get used to it. But what I'm saying is that he is not the spokesman of gay people. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't
hope
represent all, because he makes everyone look kind of silly, right? I mean, think about it.
But
And then, I mean, everyone sees that on the news, and that's why people become a stereotype. Oh, every gay guy is going to be like that. But
Yes,
that's not true.
that's exactly my point.
I've been to gyms where, like, honestly, these guys are probably bench press the most. They look the most masculine. You would never even know. And some of these guys are like they're in the closet still, and they're gay. I mean, look at all these guys that get locked up, all these like gangsters, and like they end up being gay. You know, like I've seen like some guys where they look intimidating as fuck,
Oh,
and I'm
yes.
just like, dang. And then you know you hear them talk the way they are, and it is what it is. Do you? You know, you want to be a gay gangster? Do that. You know.
I've seen gay
No,
gangsters.
but I've seen that. I've seen everything. The thing is,
They're just as crazy.
you can't just put a picture and be like, oh, all gays are like this. Because
I
that's
know.
like saying all blacks are criminals, all Mexicans are criminals.
Exactly.
It's just retarded to think that way. It's just that the media has such a intricate plot to show that on the screens, in the movies, on the videos, everything.
What
you
is
know?
your opinion on the gay, like, of adopting kids and stuff? Do you think that's going to ruin traditional holidays like Mother's Day and Father's Day? Do you think there would be like a weird differentiation? Like,
I mean, I think it might be a little awkward. I mean, well, no, it's not. It's not. Like, if it's two dads, they are going to be celebrated together. Mother's Day, they won't celebrate it because they're both dads.
Right.
So it's not.
but when the teacher asks the kid to paint a picture of mommy and what you do with mommy on that day,
Oh.
you're right. It would be awkward. It would be awkward. But backing up the religion side, because I like to look at both sides of the scale, not just saying that
course.
gays are completely right and religion is completely wrong. Because religion does make sense to me, like avoiding multiple partners because it causes diseases.
Uh-huh.
But straight people do the same thing. They have sex with a bunch of people and they get AIDS and shit like that, right?
Right.
But I like the Bible because it says love thy neighbor, you know, don't steal. These types of instructions I think people need. People need to understand that we can't be vicious, we can't be crazy, even though we still are at times. We need to have that guideline of, dude, chill the fuck out. People are trying to sleep. You know, you're blasting your music, shit like that.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is hypocritical. The people saying like, oh, gay people are going to go to hell because of the Bible. How come they can't follow the 10 Commandments easily?
Nobody can,
Like,
right?
no, and
It's almost impossible.
It's supposed to love.
But again, it's the guideline. I like the Bible. Don't get me wrong. I think what it says in the Bible is pretty cool when it comes down to respect. When it comes down to saying people will burn in hell for loving somebody another sex, the same sex, it kind of bothers me because it's like, dude, we got to get along on this planet. And if that's how you separate people, by saying we're on this side because we choose to listen to the Bible completely, which you don't, because no one's perfect. No one's perfect, but the Bible's trying to make us perfect, which is cool. But what's wrong with people enjoying and being happy, dude? I don't get it.
Hey, if people want to get married and they're gay, dude, let them be. You know, most people end up in divorce anyways. So why not? Why are we avoiding that, right? That's just more money for the courts.
I think it's because gay people want to get married in a church, and in church we follow the Bible.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I know they've been, they obviously discussed this. I know recently I was coming across an article where it involved the Pope and the Vatican saying that, they had to be more open to everybody, including gays and everybody, where the church has never had this stance prior to the Pope that's in office right now. But, I think everything moves in its own pace. Like, for instance, let's say like in the Middle East or Asia or whatever, any type of country where a lot of girls want to remain virgins, so they have anal sex, they have sodomy, so like, could that be a thing where it's just it's so complex. There's just so many factors. Like, do you think people are born gay? Do they become gay? Like, what are the influences on it?
Okay, speaking from my experience and other people around me, I think you're made. Because, I was molested when I was younger.
Oh my God!
Wow, sorry to hear about that.
Sorry, man.
No, it's fine. Like, I'm okay with it. But it happened when I was a kid,
Somebody you trusted? Somebody close to the family?
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck.
Sorry about that.
But,
and some would say, that's the reason why you're gay. Blah, 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 blah.
I think maybe it was because, I didn't know any better. I didn't know what was going on. I was a little kid.
Fuck.
Whatever. But it went away. I didn't even think anything of it. But when puberty hit, that's what I knew, So that's why I think I was more, inclined to go for guys. Everyone who I know that's gay has always told me, too, they've been molested, too.
Wow. Have you ever been bullied over it?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get into that in a second. I just want to, really quick, I want to say, with the whole people against gays, blah, 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 we hate gays. Shouldn't we be more concerned about people who don't have a say in who they can sleep with, like you were just saying? Like sex trafficking and sex slaves? Like, isn't that more of an issue?
It's just scapegoating. That's all it is.
Of course, always a scapegoat.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
Distraction. Yeah, you're right.
All right, dudes. We'll get into your history right now about, growing up and what the dilemmas you had. But do you know anything about the history of gays' rights and gay movements and stuff? Let's look at some of those emails. What did I do with that email I just had? Shit. This is going to take a second, but there's a couple people that I was watching on YouTube. It's a documentary called, or it's a little video of Vito Russo, Our Time, Lesbian and Gay History. These two people that were interviewed, Barbara Giddings and Harry Hay, who were coordinators of the gay movement back in the day in the 50s. It's really interesting. I'm going to post up the link in a minute, but I think people should watch it because it goes to show you how hard it was for gay people to try to gain the rights that they have today. It's the same thing as African Americans, and that's one thing that the gay community did look at. Well, there wasn't a community back then, but as they started gathering together, they saw the black people fight for their rights.
Lou,
Black power.
Lou, obviously at work, do you encounter, or at school or anywhere you go to, have you ever encountered like somebody who is gay? Has that ever made you feel uncomfortable? Has that ever made you, or both of you, have you ever been in a workplace where somebody feels uncomfortable or might make a comment or something, and just straight ignorance,
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because that happened 3 weeks ago.
Really?
Yeah, because I was friends with this guy and he wants to move up at work.
Okay.
And I'm the supervisor, so I'm trying to help him out to get to where he wants.
Okay.
I guess mentor.
Correct.
And then he would tell people that he felt I was trying to come on to him and
Really?
that I wanted him and that I made
Wow.
him made him uncomfortable. When I'm like, well, I'm trying to help you out to move up in the workplace, and I honestly never let him on. I never flirt. I didn't do anything.
He was just homophobic, you think?
Hurt your feelings.
Because he found out that I was gay. Because
Oh,
at
I
first he
see.
didn't know.
And his whole mentality
Yes.
changed as soon as they said that.
Yes, all of a sudden he's like, oh, he's coming on to me, and it's like, well, I was trying to help you out, but now I won't. Good luck to you.
Yeah, I've actually worked a lot of places, with bisexual and gay men, whatever. And I've worked all kinds of places, and whether it be like a server or it be at a call center, wherever it may be. But I always keep mutual respect, and I think that's one of the main things is just respect. And I think gay people want respect just like normal people have respect, but normal people barely even get respect. So I could just imagine how it is for gay people to.
Yeah.
I mean, we live in California. Again, we live in a more liberal state of mind. But I was doing some research. I mean, there's countries where it is banned, it is illegal. You will go to jail, you will
Russia?
die. Yeah, Russia. Oh, Russia, beautiful. Yeah, Putin. it's banned to be gay. You can't have. There's also a lot of gay bashing. There's actually a video that was quite disturbing where people just going around the streets and picking on people, bullying on them, beating the living crap out of them, getting on video,
Hey, Mike.
putting it on YouTube.
I got your links right here on that. Do you have any one I can push right here, and it'll give us a little story?
I was actually wanting to go into the one where the guy from San Diego recently, where he's
He
infected.
committed suicide.
Oh, we could do that one if you want to.
Oh wait, the one
We
that he's
Which one is it, though?
positive
Yeah,
and
the
he's
HIV
infecting
positive.
everyone?
Yeah,
Which one is it?
exactly.
This one right here, second count suicide. Yeah, I think it's this one.
No, that's another one. This one is where this guy was actually, I believe, he was still gay, wasn't out of the closet. He had sex, obviously filmed it, and I think his who was it? Somebody that lived with him, his roommate, got a hold of it, puts it on the web, and this guy ends up committing suicide.
Okay, no,
That's
I didn't
sad,
know.
Yeah,
man.
this is another guy. Yeah,
That's sad, dude.
yeah, it's
Because he didn't want anyone to know, right? He's
should
his
that
own
person
private
be
business.
held accountable? Should they
Oh,
go
yeah.
to prison?
Fuck yeah.
I mean, what do we do? And
It's first of all, you're recording him secretly without even letting him know. Second of all, the guy has privacy, to do what he wants, and you're putting him on blast in the social media. I mean, that's dangerous.
No, he should be held accountable.
He should go to prison for that shit.
yeah, it's crazy to go to tell you, like, people forget, this younger generation, they forget that this internet and FaceTime didn't exist all the time. It's fairly new. It's in its infancy, and people think, they do something stupid, they put it on the internet. Remember, it's there for the rest of your life. And it's sad, like Kim Kardashian, the sex tape, and now you got all these little girls, following in her steps.
Oh,
Like,
I
I mean,
know.
you could go on her Twitter, she probably has millions of followers, and that's kind of sad that they're role models, but, to each their own. It is what it is, man.
I mean, going back to what we did a
Yeah.
long time ago, that's why I don't have celebrities as role models. I don't like celebrities. I don't like that. I mean, I work the industry, and I see everything's just fake. All
What
it
kind
is.
of industry? If you could go into a little bit more detail, what have
If you want, if it's something that's kind of out there that's gonna put you on blast, don't do it.
Oh, no, not that kind of industry.
There he is. Got him.
No, well, I mean, like, I work award shows.
Okay,
and,
cool.
what I do is I escort celebrities.
Okay.
That's so
So-
cool.
So you've had a lot of interaction.
Yes,
Okay.
and I see everything's just fake. Everything's already preset. Nothing's by accident, and it's just everything's organized to make people want to be them, love them, and honestly, that just warps, our minds.
And these people are just miserable when the camera's off, huh? No, I'm just kidding.
No, they really. I mean, they're different. Like they
Yeah.
honestly just seem like
They don't interact as like normal people would, I would say.
it's kind of
or-
like they're puppets. That's all
They're
they
puppets,
are.
okay.
And like they look kind of just down and sad and kind of
yeah,
like
they're on a contract.
everything
right?
is dictated to them. What they wear, what they say, what they do, everything. And it's like they don't have a choice. You don't.
Wow.
That's the price of money. You sell your soul.
Yeah, and I've actually was looking into an article of celebrities that came out and it actually affected their careers. Where one of them was actually like Ellen, but she bounced back and she's doing really good. And but yeah, there's quite a few people that came out. Or look at the NFL with the first time openly gay draftee that was into NFL recently. I don't know if he made the team. I don't know if he got cut, but
He kissed a dude on live television, and everyone was like, "Ooh."
Yeah.
oh yeah, when he got drafted, that's right. That was a.
And my thing is that I have no problem with people kissing each other, peck and whatever, a strong kiss. But when it comes to people making out, it doesn't matter if it's dude on dude or girl on dude, and you're in public, man, just fucking basically getting it on.
Yeah.
Like slow your roll, man. There might be kids walking around.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really about kids. Like, kids don't need to see shit like that. Kids need to see development issues, like how to interact, how to communicate, how to deal with an adult. Like you got to realize you're a little person, but you can still
have a voice.
Have a voice, exactly. Did you know that another word for gays back in the days, like in the 50s, it was a temperamental man. It was basically people were that were gay. Basically, it was a disorder, a mental disorder.
Oh yeah.
Isn't that scary? Like, something's wrong with you. You like men, you are a demon.
But see, this is the thing, is like people, what they don't understand, they try to put, in terms or in graphs to it, but they always, do it bad. What I want to know is, I think when, Aristotle was going around,
Yeah.
everyone was gay. Like, it was open. Like, they would be married,
The
yes,
Greeks.
but they would have sex
Yeah.
with other guys,
Yeah.
even kids, and it was fine back then.
Yeah.
So what
That's right.
happened for them to change and be like, oh, gay is bad and immoral, and
Good question. Maybe because of what happened in Rome, it traumatized people to the sense of like, we don't want to see was it a great flood or some shit that happened? I don't even know.
In Sodom, yeah, well, that was a different thing, but like in the Bible, yeah, there was people supposedly living in sin, and God came out and wiped off Sodom, and
No rules. Everyone's
Yeah.
just going crazy and going wild.
But see, like, this was after all that, though.
correct, yeah. I just look at it like this, like I actually personally have gay family members, and to me, I've always looked at them the same. I remember actually when I was doing my first communion, actually, you pick a sponsor. And, you know, I wanted, you know, a certain uncle. And I remember, you know, my mom was like, nah, you got to choose somebody else. And I was like, why? You know, and like she kind of didn't want to tell me, but she kind of did. My mother's always been open with me my whole life. And she's just like, yeah, mijo, well, you know, he's gay, you know. And I was like, what? And I was like, well, what is that? And I'm all, my thing was like, well, what does that have to do with it? You know, he's still a person, you know. But, you know, I was younger at that time. And it is what it is, man. And like people, as far as like, they're just so negative, and like, you know, they're always putting each other down. I know for sure, like, I know guys that are my male friends. I know they claim to be straight, but sometimes they act the gayest out of like most people that I know that are gay. Like they're like, I don't know, they claim they're fucking around and messing around, but like, dude, a lot of these guys act really gay, and it's just like, yo, man, you're acting kind of gay right now.
There's a fine
you know?
point.
Like,
No, that's ignorant.
So these are the states right here that allow same-sex marriage. California, Connecticut, Iowa, Massachusetts, New Jersey, New Mexico, Oregon. These guys right here, they're by court decision. Others are state, and others are popular vote. The ones that are banned, as you can tell, are a lot more. 26 by constitutional amendment and state law, which sounds funny to me because I thought everyone had the right to pursue their happiness and do what they love. If they're not bothering anybody, what the fuck's the difference, you know?
Yeah.
So we got big issues in this country, and we will never get over this war until we decide how to get along and how to work with each other and give people the same rights. If they're not bothering anybody, let them go to the court system and get divorced and do all that shit that we got to do. Joel, let's see what time we got. We got 30 minutes in. When were you attracted? Like, when did you realize you like males? Like, or were you ever attracted to females? Like, did you ever have that sense like, shit, I think I'm not normal, or I am this way?
But again, what is normal? You know, and we're not trying to put it down, but we're just saying, like, using terms that the media uses
society.
Terms. It's not necessarily like the way we think, but we're just trying to, you know, get a point of view.
Well, I mean, I think 8th grade is when I was attracted to guys, and girls. I still kind of am, but I've just never really done anything because I was emotionally involved with my friend, who's a girl, and she felt the same, but she knew I was gay, and we just never really acted upon it.
And what about like when school dances would come around? Like, did you ever like go through the motions?
No,
and
I
ask
took
a
my
girl?
boyfriend.
Oh, really?
I took my boyfriend. Yeah.
Wow. How did the school district react to that, or the principal? Or
were you accepted?
Yeah.
No.
Like,
Okay.
how
Well,
was it?
I mean, I came out. Well, I didn't come out, but I told someone in freshman year that I was.
Okay.
She told everyone, and then
Attention, listen.
yeah, pretty
Joel
much.
is gay.
Yeah, pretty much. So I was alienated from my friends, but there were a few who they didn't care. They were still my friends, but everyone else kind of like shunned me or kind of make fun of me when I would pass by. And by the senior year, I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm gonna go all out. I brought my boyfriend at the time to prom. And you have to sign a permission slip to bring someone outside of, like, you know, school.
Yeah, correct.
And the principal, like, this is a guy. I'm like, yes. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yes, I'm sure.
Did he say it in a tone where, like, looking out for you, or a
No,
tone like, yo, like, fuck this? You know?
I mean, I think a little of both, because he was more surprised because he was shocked. You know,
never seen that before.
No. Well, I mean, no, because I've never been in that situation.
No, I mean the principal. Maybe
maybe
he seen that before, so he was just
his eyes opened up. He was like, look at me. This is the guy. Are you sure? And I'm like, yes. Well, I mean, he could be looking out for me, but
like, hell yeah, he's paying my ticket. Let's do this.
Do you think? I mean, what do you think is the root reason, the main idea of people hating gays? Like, do you really think it's religion? Do you think it's because of word of mouth that it's not normal, like we were saying earlier? Society.
Well, religion is the big thing. You know, a lot of people dedicate, you know, their beliefs on the book. The other is because it's different. It's going against the norms. You know, it's going against society. People don't like change. They don't. You
know, a lot of people, I think, are like the black movement. I compare a lot of the gay movement to the black movement because the blacks were fighting hard to get their stuff, and they were getting hosed. They were getting killed. They were getting hit with batons. There was shit. Yeah, there was shit going on that was like, fuck, man. These people just want the opportunity to live a normal life. You know, people that like I said in my statement, that the rich white man pays black people to be puppets for them so that they can stir a bunch of shit up, like NWA.
Some names, though. Some names.
NWA, Tupac. Al Sharpton. People that stir shit up that make people want to, I'm black, you're white, fuck you and fuck you.
See,
so they add more gasoline to it.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just like with every generation something happens. Because, you know, before the blacks or even after was the Japanese, you know.
Correct. Concentration camps.
Everything, no one talks about it really.
You know your history.
It's not like, people don't want to talk about what we did, you know. But it just happens every generation. There's someone that they target.
But I'm saying there's people out there that are puppets that work for somebody on a higher scale that is still racist or still hates gays.
Yeah.
Like maybe because of the Bible, maybe because they just hate another race.
Well, let me ask you this then. So you know how you want everyone to be open and free will and everything?
Yeah.
Why should, you know, with Duck Dynasty, right? He came out on his show and says, I don't like gay people, and everyone hated it and persecuted him.
Yeah.
But isn't it his right to also just
To say
express
that.
that he doesn't like it, you know?
Yeah.
We can't force him to be comfortable
Well, that's
with
the thing,
So
is that as soon as somebody comes and says, oh, I don't like gay people, it's like, oh, you're homophobic, you're a gay basher, you're this. And it's like, they might be like, oh, well, I just don't agree with their lifestyle.
Mhm.
But yeah, you're right. We should be able to be having, like, this is my thing. When people disagree, I invite them to, like, hey, let's do a podcast. Let's get into this person's mind. Let's ask them their point of view.
Mhm.
Like, one thing I want to get into, too, is, like, the whole, like, bullying thing, like, or, like, school. Like, how was it going to school after this person just, like were your teachers looking at you differently?
Well, my
like,
teachers never knew.
Oh, they never knew?
No.
Okay, so the scope of it was just mainly the students?
Yeah.
Okay. And would they ever call you certain names by any time? Or, I mean, would they ever threaten you? Any physical stuff?
Luckily, no. I was
Okay,
never
that's awesome.
like, you know.
You kind of blend in because when I first met you, we met at work. I didn't know for a while. But what was weird about it, I have to say, is that you reminded me of my sister, who I love to death.
Mhm.
But the face expressions you'd make and stuff, I thought of you as my little sister. And now it's so weird because later on I found out you were gay, and I still have respect for you, and I still thought you were a cool dude. The thing was is that it was so weird how I thought you were like my sister because
That's weird.
of your facial expressions, like the way that my sister would do it. So not that it's weird, it's just that I normally saw you as somebody in my family, and it happened to be a girl, which doesn't matter. But I wanted to ask you about your parents because you told me a good story at work that I want to know about, like coming out to them because they didn't even know this whole time. So you said in 8th grade you found out that you were, you know, turning gay, or you were gay, and that you had embarrassed because your friend expressed it to everyone. But how did your parents find out?
Are they religious?
Come on, man, this is a good story. I want to hear this.
Well, they are religious, but they don't push it on me. Like,
Okay.
they let me pick what I want. My my grandfather was a pastor, actually.
Oh, wow.
He was a Christian
Holy
pastor.
shnikes.
Wow.
So
It must have been embedded in your dad then, deep.
It is, but he doesn't push it on me, which I like.
That's
He-
cool.
he-
That's real cool because he
gives me
probably had it
trust,
pushed on him, and he was like,
Correct.
dude.
Exactly, because, you know, well, his grandfather was really strict, everything by the Bible, and he would put, like, the Bible before his family.
Really?
So he didn't want to do that to us, you know. My mom grew up Catholic, like
Oh, okay.
hardcore Catholic too, but none of them pushed the religion on me or my brother.
So can we
So-
go into it, or do you not feel comfortable with your buddy coming and acting like he had nowhere to go and was living with you? Can we talk about that?
Yeah,
or-
that's fine.
And then what happened?
Okay, so
This is a good story.
I was dating someone who had nowhere to go. He honestly doesn't have family, so I'm like, okay, you know, come live with me. So we were dating, and he lived and moved in with me in my own room,
Wow.
and my parents were okay with it, and they're like, well, okay, he's just your friend. They were in that much in denial, until one day I came home from work. I found out he had someone over at my house, so he was cheating on me pretty much.
Wow. In your own house.
In my own bed.
In his bed.
Wow.
Yeah. So I told him, you know what, you need to leave. Please don't make a scene. Just say you found another place and leave. He told my dad that I'm kicking him out, he doesn't know why. So pretty much my dad is getting on me saying, why are you kicking him out? He's part of the family.
Wow.
So
And he has no.
he didn't know. No.
Wow.
So then he pretty much put me in the corner, and I had to tell my dad everything.
He's like, you're going to tell him? Are you going to tell him?
Yeah, he was pretty much, the guy was telling me, are you going to tell your dad or what? Or do you want me to tell him?
Wow.
So he was an asshole. And
What were
pretty
you
much-
feeling at that point, dude? Like the
Ooh,
frustration,
I
the...
was so pissed.
Oh, man.
Well, I mean, I was scared of my dad, yes, and I was afraid, and I felt like I was gonna get kicked out.
Did your parents ever speak to you about gay people when you were growing up?
Yep. My
Yeah.
mom told me, they should die.
Really?
Yeah.
This coming from your mother's mouth?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow, that is horrible, man. That is horrible. And was this how old were you maybe when she was expressing that?
A year ago.
Wow.
But see, the thing is, she always knew, and that's the
Okay.
thing that bothers me. She knew, but of course she won't ask. She doesn't want to talk about it. But she knew because embarrassing.
She's your
as it-
mom.
No, yes, but embarrassing too,
knows
because
you
like, she
best.
would find like stuff I would leave in my room, like.
An example by any chance? Or?
Okay, have you the Brokeback Mountain movie?
Okay.
So I bought it. I was gonna watch it. I never watched it. I never did. But I hid it under my bed because I didn't want her to find it. She found it. She watched it.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, she ended up watching it. I still haven't to this day, but she knows. You know, she knew.
Yeah.
She got the hint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but she would just make comments that kind of would depress me. She's like, "Oh, Ricky Martin came out when he came out.
Yeah.
Like, how disgusting is that? He should probably just, like, die." I'm like, really?
Fuck.
Like, I met Ricky Martin. He's an amazing guy. He's super nice, and it's just like,
But he should just die.
yeah, pretty much.
He's a good guy. Yeah, he done nice things. No, he should just die.
Living la vida loca.
And now he should just die.
Yeah, but
Wow.
yeah,
That's
so
crazy, man.
But you were saying that your mom was like talking to you about like how she didn't know whether like are you the girl or the guy and weird shit like
okay,
that.
well, so after when my ex outed me, well, my dad was just like, "This is disgusting. I can't believe it. It goes against the Bible. This is filth. I feel like throwing up. It's disgusting. Anything, And he just told me to leave, and he kicked out the guy. He's
Yeah.
like, "You need to fucking leave right now."
Nice.
But honestly, I think I got, it's lucky for me, because he started talking to me 2 days after, so it wasn't that long. And
Okay.
he was just
He
like,
loves you.
Because they love you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're his son.
because
it's
I
all
hear
about
other
love, man.
stories that they get kicked out, they get banned from the family,
Forever, yeah.
Excommunicated.
But
yeah.
the whole time this was going on, obviously I was hurt because my dad was pissed and ashamed.
Yeah, and
but
also, you're getting
also-
cheated on.
Yeah, that hurt too.
So it's all in one.
But the whole time my mom was like hugging me and saying that she loves me no matter what. So she was always supportive.
oh, okay.
and then-
That's good, man. That's good to hear.
And recently, she's trying to understand more and try to be like, I'm your mother, let me know. It's new to her, and she's just like, she doesn't understand because my other ex just got married 2 weeks ago, and she knew him for 4 years because we were dating for 4 years.
Okay.
So she's like, I don't know how that would be. Who's the guy? Who's the girl? How does that she can't wrap her mind around it. And she was joking about it because you know how people use
Yeah,
humor to understand.
Of course, especially Latinos and stuff.
Yeah, so she's being really supportive and she's just making jokes, but now she's just like, I don't know, who do I give the casserole to? Who's gonna be cooking?
Oh man, that's comedy.
Yeah, so she's being supportive though. Like both my dad doesn't want to talk about it. We don't talk anything about it, but my mom does. She's open about it. She's like, I can't believe he cheated on you, and she talks to me about everything now. So
Yeah.
like
And
we're close.
A mother's supposed to do that. She's supposed to comfort you, love you
Yes.
regardless of what
Mhm.
decisions you make, and that's a good mother for you. I wanted to get into what I overheard a coworker. I don't even want to say that. Somebody I work with, who I already blew his cover, but I haven't said his name. I was in a car with him the other day, and I like to question him because he knows a lot about the Bible, and he's just
Mhm.
strictly on the Bible. But he mentioned something that kind of got me going. And he said, the Bible teaches us rules. It's an abomination for non-religious, for people to be gay. And he was mad because he was talking about some guy that he knew, and he's not religious at all. He's an atheist. That his daughter got a tattoo, and he's like a real strict dude.
Mhm.
So this is my friend. I'm sorry. This is my coworker's neighbor. This is my coworker's neighbor we're talking about. Stay focused here. His daughter had got a tattoo, and he's like one of these really strict dudes. He's like, why did you get a tattoo? He's like giving her all this shit, and she's 19 years old. She can make her own decisions, I guess. And he said, the guy that I'm working with, he said, why does he get mad? Like, he doesn't follow the Bible. Like, where does he think these rules come from?
Mhm.
He says, why not just hook up with anybody? You're married, go hook up with another woman. Why does society think this is wrong? He's like, where do you think this comes from? The Bible. And I was like, wow, the Bible, like I said, has good things to it. It makes a lot of sense. But doesn't the Bible say tattoos are a curse? Like people that are religious have tattoos, and
Oh, really?
that it says that you
It
will.
says a lot of things.
Yeah,
Right, we all break the rules. Is my whole point.
Of
How
course.
can we, and he even told me, I'm like, so why don't we just kill them? And he's like, well, the Bible says not to
Thou shalt not kill.
No, it says something about not throwing it. If you sinned,
Don't cast the first stone.
something like that. Yeah, we're getting there. Something about thou shalt not kill somebody unless they're like pure of sin, and everyone sinned. Thou shalt not cast thy stone on those who I fucking forgot it.
Well,
But
let me ask you this, kind of off topic.
Go
Do you
ahead.
believe in religion?
yeah, I mean, like I just said, I believe that these books are for society. Me, in my brain, I'm looking at the whole planet. I'm not just looking at Orange County. I'm not just looking at.
But I'm asking you personally, do you believe in the religion?
I believe I'm a part of every religion because I like some of the tools that they have. Like the Muslim religion says, cover up your women. I'm not.
Okay, but the way I'm asking, or I'm going to, is like, do you think religion is just made to make people peace of mind of the afterlife? 'Cause
Yes.
not knowing is
Yes.
scary, so this is a way to
Yes.
cope. So it's
Yes.
not.
I think that we don't know the unknown. It's very scary. We need something to comfort our brain psychologically. If you're mentally tough, like I know we are, me and Mike, we can think outside the box but come back into the box and say, we know life's good, we're going to stay positive.
Of
I
course.
look at it like this: the overall thinking I'm thinking. If there is a God up there, He's looking down at me and He's going, everything I'm doing is good. I want to enlighten people all around the planet that we need to work together, that we need to make change. We got to stop corruption. We got to stop slaves. We got to stop this stuff. We got to make a better world. So if there is somebody up there, they're looking down at me going, He's doing what's right.
Because I mean, I have a problem with religion. I do, at least with Catholics too. You know, the Vatican, the Pope, and everything. Because you know how they say you can't idolize anyone other than God.
Yeah.
What is the Pope? Everyone idolizes him.
Exactly.
They
It's
treat
the
him pretty
Virgin
mu-
Mary.
and that's what I have a
Saints.
problem. It's like everything's hypocritical what they say, and I don't like religion. And they have their own city within the country.
The Vatican.
Yeah,
Rome.
and then they have a lot of secrets and stuff in there. And
Yeah.
like, I don't like religion. I don't trust religion.
They make a lot of free money. We actually brought this up on the last.
You shouldn't
show.
say that you don't trust it though, because it gives us. You got look at. Don't just think about yourself. Think about the whole population. On all of us trying to work. I'm sorry, Mike. What were you saying?
Oh no. I was just saying on how they get a lot of free money. You know, they're nonprofits.
Yeah, they don't have to pay taxes.
Tax-free,
They make
yeah.
a bunch of money, but they do help people. Like back in the day, churches were for people that had nowhere to go, that needed
But-
needed doctors to help them and stuff.
But the Vatican, there's also been popes that have blessed bombs that have been dropped on fucking people. So I mean, there's a double standard, man. We're all human. Nobody's fucking a saint. Nobody's this. Nobody's that.
See, like-
Religion, I think it is good in a way, but I think it's been hijacked. I've said this time and time again. I think people use it. They pick and choose. People are religious when it's convenient. You know, people pick and choose it. Like I know a bunch of Muslims. They drink. They smoke weed. They gamble. All this shit's against their religion. They still do it, but
They
they're
eat
in
pig.
America.
They eat pig food.
They eat pizza with fucking pepperoni on it. You know what I mean? I'm Catholic. I say I'm Catholic. I just say that because it was embedded into my brain, like since I was born. And I don't know. I mean, like, back to like when I was doing my first communion, my mom told me about my uncle. It was just, you know, I just looked at it like, hey, you know what? He's just different, you know. But my parents taught me to be very, very open-minded since I was young. Anytime I asked my mom, you know, hey, what's AIDS? She would explain to me. And that's another topic I want to get into is like diseases. You know, a lot of people blame gays for AIDS, you know.
HIV.
HIV. What's your take on that?
I mean, I guess this is going into like conspiracy theories.
Okay,
But
correct.
I honestly
it is.
think it's the government who created it.
Alex
And
Good
Jones.
point. Good point.
I do. I really think it was the government that put it. And then
They've been caught. They've been caught with syphilis. They gave syphilis out in I think it was Africa, somewhere around there that they were
Unfortunately, everything happens in Africa. Like Ebola, Africa.
Yeah.
testing it
HIV,
out on blacks, and not to
Bringing
mention
slaves to America for free
Hey.
labor. Yeah, exactly.
Everything is
People
starting-
forget this shit. You know, that's
Yeah.
the problem.
you make a lot of good points, Joel. I
You do.
mean, I really appreciate you coming in. What do you think about the word faggot? That's like saying nigger to a black dude.
I mean, to me, I don't take it personally.
It's fucked
Like,
up. It needs to stop. I personally have made mistakes in my history that will always haunt me for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
I've made songs using the word fag, and to this day I feel like a fucking shithead for it, because I recognize now as I got older that I was blind of the history of gay people. I never. You said you've been around gay people a lot. I've never been around gay people until I had a job that was associated with some people like that. I began to recognize that they're just like me. We have the same differences or the same problems, the same types of things going on. The only difference is that they like a certain sex that I don't like. It's a difference. That's all it is. My main train of thought was that, you know, the word faggot, to me, it needs to cut. It needs to be removed. A lot of people use it on Facebook and stuff, and I hear it on the radio shows. And I used to look at it like it was funny now, because it was just like a joke word, like dummy or doofus, and faggot was one of those. Now I look at it like, dude, you're discriminating on a whole mess of people, dude. If you were to throw out the word nigger, I have friends that they're not real close friends, but they use the word nigger, and I look at them and I go,
And they're not even black.
yeah, no, they use it. No,
Oh.
that's the thing you're confusing it
No,
with.
I'm just messing with
Nigger was a racist word used by white men.
By white men, yeah.
Black people flipped it around and called it nigga, because they were saying, ha, 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 what the fuck now? We can use this word too, but we're
Yeah.
flipping it. It's cool. What's up? But it really is a stained word. It looks bad.
What
It's-
happens when you spell, sagging? Spell it backwards.
Go ahead, break it down. My brain's not working.
It's funny because white people call, when black people sag their pants, called sagging, SAGGIN, but if you spell that backwards, NIGGAS. So,
Wow.
it kind of goes hand in hand with a lot of things. It's just the racism is alive and well, and people, they try to argue it's not, but that's because they live in their little bubble, their little
But
suburbs.
I just want to
You know?
apologize to the whole gay community for my mistake, and I hope the gay community can forgive me, because I want to be a well-known leader in this country and around the world as a spokesman for people's rights and to end slave labor and to give people the amnesty that have been here that deserve it. This land that was taken over a long time ago. We forget history. I want to be a spokesman for people that don't have a voice, that do not want to speak because they're terrified of getting deported or they're terrified of getting beat up because they're gay.
Or losing their job.
I made a big mistake of running my mouth as a youngster. That's why I think nobody should be making music that's not at least like 30 years old, because we let immature people take over this country with music, with television, and look where we've gone. And that brings me back to the whole thing I was talking about, how African Americans were puppets, like NWA. Gay people are the same way. You got shows like TMZ that are run by gay people. Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. All these shows that are made to make people go, I hate gay people. They're stupid. They're annoying. But they're just provocateurs. They're making shit sound. This television's horrible. Don't watch TV. It's stupid. Get into something. Make something. Be an entrepreneur. Make a business. Help people. Create something that people could use that's awesome. And get your head out of your ass.
Yeah, the problem with these YouTube generation, they think they just get a microphone and plug it up and boom, they got shit going. And honestly, it's more than that. You got to have a plan. You got to have an approach. You got to have a budget. You got to have a place. If it's your moms and pops and you ain't paying rent, like, come on, man, step it up a notch. Like, too many people hate. Too many people, they hate it. Like, for instance, going back to the word, fag, like, I know more straight people that use that towards each other all the time, or like, oh, that's gay. People comment that all the time. Like, what's your take on that? Like, I've been in a point in time where I'm in front of people. I'm like, oh, oh yeah, that guy's gay. I hate that fool. And I didn't mean it like that, but like, it just comes out because it's so embedded to me that it's normal.
And really quickly, sorry to cut you off. I am still trying to get over that word, because I catch myself and I go, when people say that's gay, they're saying that's lame. Yeah. And when they're saying that's lame, they're making fun of gay people that they're not, again, normal. What is normal?
But then look at gay. The meaning of gay is to be happy.
Exactly. So, they polluted the word. Yeah. They polluted it because gay people, they look happy as shit. I mean, you look at these parades and stuff, they look like they're having a blast, and maybe they know something that we don't. Maybe he's sitting right in front of us, he's happier than we are in our lives because he's doing something that we don't know. Maybe make us happy. I don't know.
Well, honestly, under the take of like gay and fag, honestly, it doesn't bother me because I'm not really easily offended. But it just shows your intellect. Like, if you're using that word, then you're ignorant, because there's a lot of other words you can use for the same word.
Ignorant.
You can't. So, like, it just doesn't bother me.
And that's who I was. I was very ignorant. Yeah. I did not know what I was doing. I did not know I was putting down a whole mess of people that are fighting for the same thing that I have. Rights.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what this country is based on, is a freedom, and freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press. You have the right to do what you want to do. It's like, if you want a doctor to kill you, hey, you should have that right. If you want to have a right to not have health care, you should have that right. If you want to smoke weed, you should have that right. If you want to sleep with another man, hey, do what you got to do. My thing is, it all comes down to respect. That's all it is. I treat others the way I want to be treated. It's very basic, and people often forget this, and they don't know how to do that. And they meet somebody gay, and right away, the stereotypes kick in. This guy's hitting on me. They start fabricating lies, and maybe they're homophobic. Me, honestly, I'm confident as a man. I'm married. I know where I'm at. So, I mean, my confidence is up there. I could be around gay people, and it's not a problem to me. I know there's some people that might be listening right now and be like, oh my gosh, they're doing gay as a topic, and like, they don't get it because they're that ignorant. And you know what? Some of the, like I stated before, some of the guys that come off as being the hardest thugs and gangsters are gay. I mean, look at these guys in prison. I mean, they're there for life. They ain't gonna get no, vagina. I mean, so it's funny. Like, how about as far as like gays in the military? How do you feel about that? Or gays, firefighters or police? Do you think? What would be your take on that as far as like society? Do you think that there's a bias, there's a prejudice on that?
I think there is. The people will think, no, I don't want to be helped by a gay guy or anything like that. But when it comes to it, when they're dying or they need help, they're going to take it from anyone. And they're going to be like...
It's kind of like people yelling, fuck the police, but then they're getting shot at and they're calling the police.
Yeah, they're going to call the police. It's hypocritical.
Dumb, huh? Oh, that's a great point, Mike. The same thing with the word nigger. People go, nigger, you're fucking, fuck them niggers. And then they go out and they're bumping Eazy-E and they're bumping Snoop Dogg. And they're like, yeah, this is a dope song, Doug, or Marvin Gaye. Silliness, man. But look at the prison system. I mean, they separate people, even gays. Yeah, blacks, whites, Mexicans, gays. It's a separation of people, and until we can figure out how to unite, which I'm doing right now, breaking down the knowledge that is key. Again, religion is useful. It's very helpful. We need to the word God to me is good. Mm-hmm. If you add another O to the word God, you get good. If you add a D to the word evil, you get devil. There's a picture that someone's drawn out in our brains, which is like the way we can illustrate what we're actually doing. For an example, God. You look at a visual of God, you think of what? a man with a white beard and wings and angels around him wearing white and in the clouds. That's a visual we get. Oh, that's what it's supposed to be. The devil, fire, horns, big red thing with a big what is that thing called? A pitchfork.
A pitchfork.
Yeah, we get these visuals, and it's an intimidation to scare the shit out of us, because without fear, we become brave. We become tough. Sometimes we become corrupt. And that's what a lot of our music has done. People have forgot the word good. And they say, oh, that's good music right there. You just said fuck a bunch of hoes and I don't give a fuck drinking 40 ounces. How is that good music? Just because the beat sounds good doesn't mean your message is good.
Man.
So we got to know the differentiation. And a lot of gays out there, I have respect for, and I have no problem with the way that you live. The media is a bigger problem, though, and the gays that are controlling that, they need to snap the fuck out of it and start helping people instead of making a profit. And again, I don't give a fuck what color you are or what sexual preference you are. Do the fucking right thing instead of, contaminating your people, because that's what you're doing. Guys like George Lopez who talk shit about gays, who talk shit about how dumb Mexicans are and uses humor to make us laugh. That's fucked up. I mean, I used to laugh at it and go, I can relate to that. Now I go, dude, he's really making us look stupid. Mm-hmm. He really is. We should be at a higher level.
I think it's engineered that way. I mean, it's the same thing if you're watching like Chris Rock or whoever it may be. Don't get me wrong. I love comedians. I like to laugh. I like jokes. But I feel like at the same time, like if you look at back in the history of film and the history of movies, back in the day, there was no black actors, no Hispanic actors. If there was an actor and they had to act like an Indian guy, like from India, like they would have a white guy dress up like him. They'd paint him. If it was a black guy, they would paint him, make him look black, or they would just wear certain headdresses or certain clothes. And now what happened is like now they got us playing all these roles, because there was rights in this. But look at all the roles that most people are playing. They're usually always like horrible. Look at all these movies that they regurgitate all the time. And now you're having parodies where you're having these white people dress ghetto or, dress like they're black, and they're making the movies now, and it's acceptable. It's acceptable racism. It really is. And like people sit there and be like, oh, Mike, it's just a movie. It's not going to have any impact, like, oh, yeah, whatever. And I'm just like, man, you guys are just so blinded to the bigger picture. And I'm not saying I know everything, because I don't. Obviously, I'm learning every day. Well, one observation I am making, though, is that there definitely is racism. There definitely is bias. There's definitely prejudice against, gays. People that I know have came out usually do not so well, like around their surroundings. I know people that have been excommunicated from their families because of being gay. And I mean, this is your mother and your father, telling you something. I mean, you had a great support system now. That's cool that your mom's, she's trying to learn about it. But what would you want to tell these people? What would be the best advice to somebody that is possibly homophobic? And also the other flip on that, if they're possibly thinking about coming out, what would be the best advice for both of those scenarios?
Well, the person who's homophobic, they should just take the time and get to know someone. Because I had a lot of straight friends who didn't know I was gay either, but they were homophobic. But I would not tell them I'm gay. I would just stay quiet and listen to it until eventually, like, they found out through someone that I was gay, and they're like, wow, I didn't know, gay people can be like you, like. If that was the case, then they were kind of open up a little bit, because they didn't know until they found out someone around them is, and then they opened their minds a little bit. They're cool. Just like, you're just like everyone else. There's always,
they saw you as a human. They just saw you as another person on the planet.
Yeah, so there was a lot of homophobic people I met who were like, you're a really cool guy. You kind of opened my mind, and I don't, hate gay people as much as I do anymore. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, thanks. I'm glad I can help,
That's a strong word. I don't hate people as much as without even knowing somebody. It's crazy, it's just a crazy concept.
It reminds me of when the African Americans were labeled as half human, like you're fucking or fourth,
three-fifths of a human.
It's even worse. Like you're not even considered to be like half of what we are. Like the same thing with gays with this mental disorder. Like you guys can't even think like normal people. Like, can you believe like people have to live with that type of shit in their ear when we're supposed to be a free country to make our own decisions as fucking adults, Oh,
real quick too. Wasn't there I believe there was this church that was trying to convert people from being gay. They're like, no, and they were having them have sex with prostitutes. Like they would hire.
Oh, I don't know.
No, this is legit. What? This is real. Like,
is that a link? Let me get a link.
Dude, you gotta look that up.
Where's it at?
I heard about that church.
You got all your links right here, man. Damn, we didn't get through any of these.
They kind of would kidnap people too. Like the family would just
and they send them.
People.
It's kind of like an addiction rehab center, but it's for like, oh, you're not gay. It's something in your mind, and they try to like force them to change.
It's funny though, because it's kind of like camping. You're there in a little house with a bunch of gay people. But what do you think is gonna happen? Like that's not the.
You're like, send me more often. You know, I want to touch on the Boy Scouts too. You know, the Boy Scouts of America. You know, they're known as, you know, All American, and they were having issues with leaders,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
being gay.
I was in Boy Scouts.
Oh, really? And how did you know any other gay people that attended there?
No.
Or did
but-
you have a hinge like, hey, maybe I think this guy might have been gay?
I know this is really it was really awkward actually. Okay, so the leaders I thought they were pretty gay.
Well,
no,
a lot of them have come out, you know, as being
okay,
gay.
because you know
Hello, Scouts.
we were camping. We were out in the retreat.
Does that
and
offend you when I go hello, like a soft little voice?
No.
Well, that's another prejudice, is speaking gay. You know, like there's some people that are very feminine with their voice.
I'm just
but I'll let
making
you
a
get back to
joke.
your
I'm
topic.
Okay,
just-
that
Yeah,
I
I
want to
know, I
know.
know.
Do they actually force their voice for that? I don't know.
I
you
don't
know,
know.
it
Mike,
bothers
You
me.
know, you've been around them, dude.
Hey, what about Mike Tyson though?
Good question.
What about Mike Tyson though?
Here's
Come on
some
now.
celebrities that have come out. Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh, she's duh.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, what point were you gonna make though? I knew you were gonna
Sorry,
make a
dudes.
good point right now.
Hello.
I forgot. What was I saying?
What was he saying?
Oh yeah, the voices. I know they actually force it. They do, and it annoys the shit out of me. Because like, I don't know. I guess I'm a hypocrite too. Though, like, I understand you can be gay, you know, but
So,
you don't have.
so
to,
would they be the more feminine one?
Yeah.
In the relationship, I'm guessing, or is that just an assumption I shouldn't make?
No, it's most yeah.
Because I've seen some flamboyant gay people where they let it be known. I've worked with some, you know, working at certain restaurants and stuff, and I mean they let it be known. And there's other ones where like I would have been like, dude, I would have never guessed.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because they're married with kids,
Mhm.
and it's just like they're living a double life. Like that
Yeah.
is just it's a crazy topic. You
Yeah,
know?
that's unfortunate that they have to do a double life, you know.
I want to get back to the advice though, really quick. What would be your best advice on coming out? I know you were kind of forced into it. You were
Mhm.
kind of cornered, and it was either tell your dad or your friend was going to tell him. But what would be your best advice? Like, what kind of scenario would be the perfect scenario to come out to your parents or somebody that you really care about?
Well, honestly, what I was gonna do, what my plan was, when I moved out, tell my parents, you know.
Move to where?
If
Frisco?
anywhere.
I'm just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
like no, yeah, if I moved out just to my own apartment,
Just
my
your own
house,
place?
yeah. So that
Okay.
way, if they didn't like it, too bad, you know, I'm on my own.
Okay.
So I mean, just have a backup plan. Make sure that you're not depending on your parents, because if that happens and something backfires, you're gonna be out on the streets. You know, just think about it. Don't rush it. You know, think
Gotcha.
about it a lot. And what I would do, kind of just like to try to open my parents, like when the news would come on and you know, I would see their reaction. You know, like
To like certain topics
so
or
yeah, topics about like the gay marriage. I would like they'd be watching it and I'd be asking them, so what do you guys think? You know.
Yeah.
And if they're completely against it, I would tell them, like, which it was when it happened in my case, I told my dad, why would you be so against it? And I told him, like, I've met a lot of gay people who are actually amazing people. And he would be like, oh, really, you have? I'm like, yeah, I work with them too. So why do you have this, you know, notion that they're bad, that they're stuff? So I mean, I wouldn't go straight out and tell them, hey, I'm gay, but
Hey, a
try
lot of
to-
these people
mhm.
who painted in the Vatican were gay. You know, like Leonardo da Vinci. A lot of these artists, you know, they were homosexual, and they were inside of the Vatican. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
I think one of the main things too with the Hispanic community, like I get surprised when I hear Hispanics or something like they're like, yeah, we vote Republican, and I'm like, wait, you're not rich. You know, that's just the
Mhm.
immediate assumption people have. But one of the main reasons a lot of people vote Republican is because I think Republicans are really against gay marriage. Like they're more insecure, I would say, about just like they are with illegal immigration
Yeah.
or immigration reform. I think they're scared. They're
Check this
scared
out.
of something being different.
81 countries, homosexuality is illegal. 81 countries.
Where are most of them located? Oh, look at the map right there. That's a
Middle East, perhaps?
Mhm.
a lot of Africa too.
Damn, that's crazy. International lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans.
What
What about transsexuals? What do you think about them? Is that kind of an extreme? Like, are
Okay,
they?
yes. I mean, it's.
Is it like regular straight people who want to fucking fix their lips all the time and their nose and boob jobs and shit like that?
Honestly, it makes me uncomfortable. I know it's kind of. I feel bad saying it because I should accept everyone, but
Why won't you love me, Joel? My
Like-
lips.
I
Sorry.
get
Go
uncomfortable
ahead.
with gender people. You know, like I don't know. Like I mean, it's okay to be gay, but just be happy in your body. You know, you don't have to do that or dress up. It's just weird to me. You know.
It's a bit extreme, right?
Yes, I mean,
RuPaul type shit.
I don't
RuPaul.
watch that. No, I don't.
Hello. Go ahead.
But actually, last week I went to a drag dinner. It was
Drag
actu-
dinner?
Yeah.
What's a drag dinner?
Yeah, what is that
It's-
like where they race or what?
No. You're having dinner and they're performing a show.
Oh, a show.
Yeah.
You know what? Those things are big in like Mexico for some reason. Like people like going to the transvestis or whatnot.
It's
you know?
actually pretty fun. Like
They-
they're really funny.
They
people.
imitate celebrities, right?
Yes.
They sing and stuff like
they
that.
sing, and it's
Okay.
actually pretty good, and I liked it. So it's kind of opening my mind to be accepted to transsexual or drags or whatever. Because I used to be against it.
Really?
Mhm.
And that's kind of awkward coming from a gay individual.
That's like the
you
Bloods
know?
and the
Yeah.
Crips.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But that's why, I mean, I went to the show. I liked it, so it's open. I'm getting more comfortable with it, you know.
Cool. That's good. That's always good to open your mind and be enlightened. So, what happened at this dinner? Like, what was the whole the schedule or the
We got
show?
1 minute left on the clock. Go ahead, break it down real quick. What was the show like?
Well, no, they went like Broadway shows. They did like famous gay celebrities like a supporter like Liza Minnelli and stuff. They would just sing their favorite songs in the top.
Very cool. It's like a little convention type thing going.
No.
People get together and represent.
What? No.
Gay pride.
I think straight people go there too as well, right?
There's a lot of.
Well, there was
lot of
white
straight
people that
people,
stood
yeah.
up with Martin Luther King and marched with the dude.
I was surprised. There was a lot
That's
of.
right.
There was a lot of old white people
Just being
there.
tolerant. Just got to open your mind to
Yeah.
it.
Tolerant. I don't know. That seems like a mean word. Like we just want to get along, and we don't. We'll deal with you, but
Yeah.
Well, you kind of have to though sometimes. I mean, that's why we're here. You know.
it's
Yeah.
not. It's not even tolerant though. It's acceptance, man. Like embracement. We're all
Respect.
one.
It's
Well, this
all
is the
respect.
Open Your Mind show. We're gonna take a quick break, but remember the fuck. I had a good quote, but fuck it. Tune in later. we're out of time. I don't have enough time. Peace.